Hello students, welcome to online classes of Sri Mahavir International School. I hope you all are well at your home. So students, today I am going to teach you English grammar chapter number 1, and the name of the chapter 1 is sentences. What is the name of chapter 1? Sentences. Student, in previous classes you learn how to frame the sentence, what type of sentence are there. Let's we do the quick recap of framing the sentence. First of all, I just clear you very smallest unit of English. So, the very smallest unit of English is letter. We can say alphabet. Okay, I am writing here one letter, that is A. Okay, if I write here A and make a group of the letters A, double P, L, E, apple. So it's make a word. What is that? If the smallest unit of English language is letter and these letters are having a group and this group make a word. So in simply we can say a group of letters make a word. Okay. Similar of that, if I write this is an apple. If I write this is an apple, so it is a group of words. So the group of words make a sentence. What very different thing is there to clarify the definition of the sentence, that is a group of words make a sentence, but it having a complete sense and a meaningful thought. Let's clear you. Is this an apple? Is this an apple? Here also we can see a group of words, but this group of words not arranged in a proper way, as well as we cannot find a proper meaning of this group of words. So this is not a sentence. So according to the rules and according to the English grammar, a group of words which make a complete sense and having a meaningful thought is called sentence. Okay. One very important thing related to the sentence is that sentence always begins with capital letter. Sentence always begins with capital letter. It is very important thing that whenever we start any sentence after the punctuation mark, I am clearing my doubts that whenever we start any sentence after the punctuation mark, always it begins with a capital letter and ends with full stop and question mark, sometimes exclamatory mark also, and these all are called punctuation mark. So again I am repeating the full definition of sentences. A sentence is a group of words which make complete sense and having a meaningful thought. Sentence always begins with a capital letter and ends with punctuation mark. I hope you get what is the sentence. Now students, in your class we learn today that sentences have two parts. How many parts having a sentence? Sentence having a two parts. Number 1, subject, and number 2, predicate. How many parts having a sentence? Sentence having a two part, subject and predicate. So students, you know that the first type of the sentence, first part of the sentence is subject. According to English grammar, let me clear you what is subject. A proper definition of subject is the subject of the sentence of the part which denotes the person, thing or the various pronoun. Beta, when we writing any sentence, okay, the beginning part of the sentence is the subject. Commonly, we learn in the primary classes that the beginning 2-3 words are called subject. But exactly according to the grammar definition, the subject is the sentence part which denotes the person, thing or the various pronoun which we are talking about. In the sentence, to whom we are talking about is called subjects. Let me clear. My friend is very beautiful. My friend is very beautiful. So, we can say my friend is a subject because it denotes about the person. Person is the subject, so it denotes about the subject. Next, he plays in the park. So, if we talking about here about the subject, so subject here is he. So, according to the grammar definition, the subject of the sentence is the part which denotes the person, as I clear you, a thing and the various pronouns. Pronouns are here I, we, you, they, he, she, it. Okay, these are the common personal pronoun. If we are talking about the demonstrative pronoun, this, that, these, those. We will clear the pronoun topic in our next. Okay, so this is a proper definition of the subject. So students, after explaining the subject, now I am going to explain you the second part of the sentence, that is predicate. According to English grammar, in the previous classes we learned the next part of the sentence is called predicate. And what do we do when we are in the primary classes? We just find out the verbs and from the verb the remaining part of the sentence we think that this is a predicate. Exactly, this is a predicate, but according to the English grammar definition, the predicate is the part which tells about more the person, thing or the various pronouns. So, what these are? The person, things and the various, these all are subjects. So, we can say easily the part which tells more about the subject, what they are forms, is called predicate. Okay beta. So, what is predicate? The part of the sentence which tells more about, which tells about what the subject is doing. Okay, that is a predicate. Again I am repeating the definition of the predicate, that predicate is the second part of the sentence and it tells more about the subject, that what the subject is doing in the sentence. Okay, very important thing is here that predicate always include the verb. It is very important part, it is very important thing to understand the second part of the sentence, that predicate always include the verb. Let me clear how we identify the verbs in the predicate. In English grammar or when we learning about the tenses, we know that two verbs are very important to identify which tense is this or that. Let me clear what is that. Principal verb and auxiliary verb. Okay beta, two types of verb very important to identify the part in the predicate, that is principal verb and auxiliary verb. We also know the principal as a main verb and auxiliary verb as a helping verb. The another name we can use to know more about that, the principal verb is called main verb and the auxiliary verb is called helping verb. Now let me clear what are these. The main verb are all the action words. All the action words are including as a main verb. These main verbs are divided into first part, second part, third part. Okay. And when we include it a participle or the present past participle, it is including fourth part and fifth part. So, when we are talking about first form of the verb, second form of the verb, third form of the verb, fourth form of the verb and fifth form of the verb, these are called principal verb as well as main verb. But auxiliary verb are a helping verb and it is quite different, and these are the fixed verbs in the English grammar. Let me clear what are auxiliary verb. Is, am, are, do, did, does, was, were, has, have, had, will, shall. These are the basic auxiliary verbs which we use in the tenses and identify the which tense is it or not. If we find is, am, are, so we come to know this is a present continuous tense. If we find do, does, we know that this is present indefinite tense. If we find did, we can say this is past indefinite tense. So beta, identify the predicate. We rarely know the observation that what is auxiliary verb and what is principal verb. Now let me clear you these two parts of the sentence with the help of exercises. Okay, so let's start to doing the exercise. So student, let's we do some practice exercises related to subject and predicate. First of all, we just do the quick revision of what is subject and what is predicate. What is subject? According to the English grammar, in the sentence, the subject is the first part, okay, and this is explaining in the sentence what we are talking about. What we are talking about. In the sentence, the subject is a person, thing or the various pronoun what we are talking about. And the second part of the sentence is a predicate, and the predicate what the subject is doing in the sentence. Okay, I hope you clear the differences between what is the subject and what is predicate. Let's do 3 questions related to the subject and predicate. In these sentences, we have to underline the predicate and circle the subject. Okay, I am repeating the question. We have to underline the predicate and circle the subject. Let's read the sentence. Number 1. My uncle has bought a new scooter. My uncle has bought a new scooter. So beta, what I tell you, what is subject? Subject in the sentence, the first part, and the subject represent itself that what the subject is doing in the sentence. So my uncle is a subject here because uncle has bought a new scooter. So has bought a new scooter is a predicate. How come we know that this is predicate? One thing I explain you in the definition, that predicate always includes verb. A verb is here, auxiliary verb and principal verb, and has is here an auxiliary verb. Okay. So first thing to identify the predicate in the sentence, that we just search the verb, whether the verb is auxiliary or the principal. So we find has here auxiliary verb, and auxiliary verb include the remaining part of the sentence, and this part of the sentence is called predicate. One more thing is here, my uncle is doing something. What is that? That my uncle has bought a new scooter. So this is what the subject is doing, that's why it is called a predicate. And who brought a scooter? My uncle. So my uncle is here subject. I hope you get it what I am going to teach you. Now come to the next sentence. Have they bought the villa yet? Have they bought a villa yet? It is very difficult to find the subject in these type of sentence. That's why I clear you and bring this type of sentence to identify the subject. That in the beginning when I am teaching you subject, what I taught you, that subject is what doing in the sentence, and it is a person, thing or the various pronoun. So we can see the pronoun here, they. So they is here a subject. Okay. So they is here a subject. The subject is here and the remaining part is a predicate. I hope beta you get it, that subject is they here and remaining part is a predicate. Because they is a subject. It is doing something, and what they are doing? Walked the villa here. So predicate, what the subject is doing is a part of the sentence, and it is a second part of the sentence that will express itself as a predicate. Now come to the next example. Akbar the Great was a visionary monarch. Akbar is the Great was a visionary monarch. So we just find auxiliary verb. So I just tell you that auxiliary verb is was here. So after the auxiliary verb we find a part of the predicate, and Akbar the Great is a subject, because we are talking about Akbar the Great, and what is we are talking about Akbar the Great? That he was a visionary monarch. I hope you get it, the two part of the sentence, that subject and predicate. So you can again identify the subject and predicate, that in this sentences we find uncle is subject, they is subject, Akbar the Great is a subject. These all are the person, thing or the various pronoun. So in the sentence the subject, what the subject is doing, and predicate represent that what we are talking about. I hope beta you get it, the difference between the subject and predicate, and you can find the various subject and predicate in the exercises. So students, now we learn about the second part of the sentences, that is various types of the sentences. At previous we learned about the two part of the sentences. Now we are going to learning about various types of the sentences. Okay, so in English grammar there are 6 types of sentences. Number 1 is declarative sentences. In various books you have to see the various names of this declarative sentence, that is simple sentences, assertive sentences, affirmative sentences. Commonly in the use of type of sentences we can see declarative sentences. So first type of sentences, declarative sentence, negative sentence, interrogative sentence, exclamatory sentence, imperative sentence and optative sentence. Again I am repeating the 6 types of sentence, that is declarative. Declarative also using the name another, that is affirmative, assertive, simple, but most probably use a declarative sentence. Number 2, negative sentence, interrogative sentence, exclamatory sentence, imperative sentence and optative sentence. Now I am giving you an explanation how we identify these types of sentence in a various type of a sentence. Number 1, declarative sentence. Beta, declarative sentence are a simple statement which we are using to framing the sentence. How? Like we are talking about, I am going to Jaipur, I am ill, she is very beautiful, she is ill. Okay, so when we are going to talking about the simple statement, and that simple statement don't using any other sense of explanation, that is called declarative sentence. Let me explain you. If I write my name is Priya. So this is a simple statement, my name is Priya. So this type of sentence is declarative sentence. But one thing is very important when we are doing the exercise of sentences, whether it is a part of a sentences or whether it is a type of a sentence. I am repeating these lines in the sentence when I am teaching you many times, because you make the habit when you are writing English that sentence always begins with a capital letter. So identifying the declarative sentence, first recognition we come to know that sentence always begins with a capital letter and ends with a punctuation mark. So what type of punctuation mark is here? Full stop. In English grammar we also call it as a period. In some book you can find this full stop as another name, that is period. So the identification of the declarative sentence, that is, it is a simple statement It begins with a capital letter or ends with a full stop. I hope you get it. What is declarative sentence? Now, next we are going to learn about the second type of sentence, that is negative sentence. Beta, when we are writing any sentence and we are using some negation words like not, no, never, forbid, okay. These all are words expressing a negation, a negative sense in the sentence, and these type of sentences are called negative sentence. Let me explain you. I do not like mango. I do not like mango. So, I am writing here not, and not express here any negation in the sentence, and this negation express that this is a negative sentence. One more example. I never speak lie. I never speak lie. So, what I use here? Never. So, it represents not, and whenever in the sentence we find not, never. So, these all are expressing according to the negative type of sentences. Again, same thing I repeating, that sentence always begins with a capital letter and ends with a punctuation mark. Punctuation mark in the negative and the declarative is same, common as a full stop as well as period. One more thing, to change this declarative to negative, let me explain you. If I write here, she eats an apple. I write here, she eats an apple. So, you all know this is a simple positive declarative sentence, and we have to change this simple or declarative sentence into the negative. How we do this? First step, to change this positive declarative sentence into the negative, we identify that which tenses runs in this sentence. If you have a good knowledge of tenses, then you can easily find out that how we change the declarative into negative. Let me clear how we change it, that she eats an apple. Okay. So, here in the sentence we do not find any auxiliary verb, so it is difficult. But if we have a good knowledge of the tenses, we have to know that when we are writing simple indefinite or a simple sentence in the simple present tense, we know that we can identify as verb first form plus as and es. So, we recognize here that this is a present indefinite tense. And what we do when we change the simple into the negative or the declarative into the negative, what we do? She does not eat an apple. So, it is very easy way to change simple into negative, that we identify the verb. So, we know that eats, here a verb first form plus s. So, we come to know this is a present indefinite tense, and we also recognize the structure or the syntax of the sentence, that subject plus verb first plus ses and object. So, we know this is a syntax of the present indefinite tense, and the type of sentence is here simple. And when we change it into the negative, what we do? Subject plus auxiliary verb, and which auxiliary verb? Do and does. Does is used with she, so we write here she does, and we make it into the negative, so we write here not eat an apple. One more thing is very important to know, that when we change into simple into negative, we always use first form of the verb, because we are using do or does in the sentence. So, I hope you get the difference between positive and negative as well as declarative and negative sentence. Let's come to the third type of the sentence, that is interrogative. Let me clear what is interrogative. If we are asking the question to another one, that type of sentence is called interrogative. Okay, this interrogative type of sentences having some different thing to identify. Let me clear it, that these type of sentence begins with WH word sometime, how, or sometime auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs. Okay, so the beginning of the interrogative sentence is sometime with WH word, how, or the auxiliary verb. Let me give you some example to identify this type of sentences that I am writing here. What are you doing? Okay, so I am writing here, what are you doing? So the sentences begins with WH word and ends with the punctuation mark, that's called a question mark. And I am asking here a question to another one, that what are you doing? Next, is she going to Ajmer? Is she going to Ajmer? Again I am asking here a question, but in this type of sentence, I begin the sentence with the auxiliary verb. So, when we are asking any question in the sentence and these sentences begins with WH word as well as auxiliary verb and ends with the question mark. So, these type of sentences are called interrogative sentence. So, I am explaining you here three types of sentences, that is declarative, negative and interrogative. Now students, we are learning about the fourth type of sentence, that is exclamatory sentences. What are exclamatory sentences? When we are expressing our strong feeling, when we are expressing our strong feeling by the sentences, these type of sentences are called exclamatory sentences. What type of feeling we are expressing? Sometimes we are very happy, so we just say hooray, we won the match. So what type of feeling I am expressing? I am very happy, I am very pleasure. So in expressing the feelings are talking about exclamatory type of sentence. And if we are sad, oh I lose the match, so this is a feeling which express sorrow or grief, and when these sorrow or grief are expressing by the sentence, these type of sentence is also called exclamatory sentence. Let me clear. Hooray, they won the match. So I am writing here a sentence, hooray, they won the match. So this type of sentence expressing the joy and the pleasure of the speaker. Oh, I lost my favorite book. So what I am writing here, I lost my favorite book, that I am very sad when I lost my favorite book. So there are two type of strong feeling we are expressing in these sentence. One is we are very happy, we are joyful, we are pleasure to expressing the feeling. In the second one, our sentence is expressing itself a sorrow and grief. Okay. One very important thing to identify the exclamatory type of sentence, that in the exclamatory sentence we find the exclamation mark. This is exclamation mark, and some words are also there which are expressing our feeling, like hooray, oh no, sorry. These all are some words which are expressing the feeling. But very important thing to identify the exclamatory type of sentence, that in the exclamatory sentence we find exclamation mark. I hope students you get or learn about the four type of sentence. Let's come to the next one, that is imperative sentence. What is imperative sentence? In imperative sentence we having some different expression to expressing in our spoken as well as we are writing something. What is that? If we are requesting to someone, that is imperative sentence. If we are order to someone, giving command to someone, these all type of sentences are including as a imperative sentence. Let me clear how. Go and bring 1 glass of water. So what I am doing here? I am giving order to someone that go and bring 1 glass of water. So this type of sentence expressing here as an imperative type of sentence. Let's another. Please give me your pen. So what we are doing here? We are requesting to someone that please give me your pen. So this type of sentence also including as a imperative, because in this sentence, the sentence expressing the order as well as the command, and in the second sentence we just get the request that please give me your pen. One more thing, don't play on the road. Okay, so what we are doing here? Don't play on the road. So I am giving you here any suggestion. When we are giving any suggestion or advice, these type of sentence also included a imperative type of sentence. I am repeating and explain again the imperative type of sentence, that in the imperative type of sentence, the sentence expressing command, order, suggestion, request or advice. Okay. So these type of sentences are included in a imperative sentence. Again I am repeating the line that always sentence begins with a capital letter or ends with a punctuation mark. In the imperative type of sentence, the sentence ends with a full stop as well as the another name is period. Now come to the last, optative sentence. This is not included in your course, but I want to explain you this type also, that when in the sentence we are finding the expression of wish or curse. Okay, when in the sentence we find the expression of wish or curse. Curse का मतलब होता है श्राप. When we are giving to someone a blessing and when we are want to someone's bed, so we are just giving to curse them. But I am always blessing you that beta you all are happy and doing your studies well. So these type of sentences called optative sentence. Let me give you example. May God bless you. So this is a wish for you and go to hell. This type of sentence I am talking about corona, go to hell. Okay, so this is a curse for someone. If we are telling to someone go to hell, this is a curse type of expression. And if we want to give someone a blessings or the best wishes for the long life, that is called a wish, and this type of sentences are called optative sentence. So students, I hope you understand the 2 part of the sentence and 6 type of the sentence. Let me give you a quick revision that what is sentence? Sentence is a group of words which make complete sense and having a meaningful thought. This is the definition of sentence. Second thing, sentence always begins with a capital letter or ends with a various punctuation mark. Third thing, there are 2 parts of sentence, that is subject and predicate. Okay. And the last, there are 6 types of sentence, that is declarative, interrogative, negative, exclamatory, imperative and optative. I hope beta you understand the chapter 1 of your English grammar course, that is sentence. If you have any query, then you write it on the comment box. I hope I solve your all problems regarding to this chapter. Okay beta, bye bye, have a nice day.